Hello there and welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka on Monday the 3rd of December, and we've entered into the wonderful month, the most happiest time, the wonderful time of the year. So we have a wonderful show for you today, getting on to something about a set of a road track club sitting on a fashionable cause actually about an exhibition of art, and in fact we have a little roundup about what has been happening during the week. Well, Sri Lanka, we've entered into that festive season where the shopping is laborious and people are carrying the bags here there, and we are shopping for their loved ones, making those lists about who's been naughty, who's been nice, and also people from abroad coming into Sri Lanka. That festive cheer is all around. Of course, Sri Lanka as a country, as a state, we have a few issues at hand as well. Not everything is holly and jolly. Well, this month of December, in fact, being a very interesting month, several key issues happening. One of the most interesting ones is the much talked about midnight races happening on the 15th and 16th of December. In fact, our exhibition that we're going to talk about will happen on the same days. But with the midnight races, we have the again much talked about impeachment of the Chief Justice and what is going to happen, the 4th being the next hearing of the Parliamentary Select Committee, and with that the Supreme Court taking up the petitions on the other side, whether the judiciary and the legislature will believe that it's time to make amends this month for caring and month for happiness. Maybe they'll shake hands and settle the problem or bury the hatchet, if we may hope so. Further on, much more news coming from the geological side. Ampara having some earthquakes, as well as the south of Sri Lanka suffering from floods. So there's news on that side, as well as Sri Lankan cricket will be going down under to face the Australians, the mighty Australians, who have been doing pretty well with the South Africans these days. So a lot of cricket coming up our way as well. In fact, just drawing the test series with the Kiwis. We don't know where we are going to go in Australia. Of course, with arts and theatre, plenty of things happening this month. The Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka was in fact performing in Jaffna for the first time after a really long time. 900 people in fact got the chance to come to that concert, and they'll be having their famous Christmas concert, I think, on the 10th of this month as well, so if you want to catch that. And there are plenty of choirs, carol services, Christmas trees, lighting ceremonies, so much happening in this wonderful month. Of course, the budget too is about to be passed this year for 2013, and in fact, there's a lot of debate among all this happening in the parliament these days, whether the budget shall be passed as it is. I suppose it should be, and whether the O-level students, and they have their exams coming up, poor kids suffering with their studies while everybody's celebrating and being happy. With that, I just want to give a little introduction to what we have coming up on the show. Very wonderful course, an exhibition about art. When you talk about exhibitions of art, there are several, we see it happening often. And of course, I'm sorry, we have something more interesting coming up. Just before that, Ashanti Diallis came up with a very interesting rework of the famous Gangnam Style song. And she did her own version of it, and it had a happy reaction as well as a sad reaction. Some of the people didn't like it that much, but with regard to Christmas, there is something that we want to see: the Gangnam Style and the lighting up of a Christmas tree. And let's have a look at that video.
Open Gangnam Style, Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자, 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자, 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자, 그런 반전 있는 여자. 너는 선호해, 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선호해, 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선호해, 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선호해, 그런 선호해. 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너, hey, 그래 바로 너, hey. 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너, hey, 그래 바로 너, hey. 지금부터 갈 때까지 가볼까. 오빤 강남 스타일, 강남 스타일, 오빤 강남 스타일, 강남 스타일, 정숙해 보이지만 놀 땐 노는 여자, 이 때다 싶으면 묶었던 머리 푸는 여자 가렸지만 웬만한 노출보다 야한 여자 그런 감각적인 여자 나는 선어해 점잖아 보이지만 놀 땐 노는 선어해 내가 되면 완전 미쳐버리는 선어해 근육보다 사상이 울퉁불퉁한 선어해 그런 선어해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너 지금부터 갈 때까지 가볼까
So there we had it, Gangnam Style and the Christmas tree, and we've had the Mount Limania Hotel, I think, also putting up a Christmas tree. I don't know whether they'll be playing the Gangnam Style. Incredible how that song just caught up with the world. I think recently topped 8 million hits on YouTube. And talking about Korean men who are famous, Kim Jong-un was voted as the world's sexiest man recently. No, that was a spoof award that he got. Kim Jong-un is the world's sexiest man, a spoof award. So getting on into the heart of this show today, we are going to talk about the exhibition of art named Passion by the Rotaract Club of Cinnamon Gardens, and they are here to talk with us today. And we have from my immediate right Shazana Hamid, who is the project chairperson. Welcome to the show, Shazana.
Hi.
And then we have the three out of 6 artists who we have here, and we have Isuri Dayaratna. Hi Isuri.
Hi.
And Irushi Tennakon, Shamanti Rajasingham.
Hi.
And also we have the president of the Rotaract Club of Cinnamon Gardens, Umanga Sittinayaka. Hi Umanga, and thank you for being on Good Morning Sri Lanka.
Thank you for having us.
So Umanga, tell me a little bit about this club of yours firstly, the Rotaract Club of Cinnamon Gardens, and why did you enter into an exhibition as such?
Well, we are a new revived club, so we decided we wanted to have something interesting, something a bit different this time, and our main goal was to make sure that all our members do something which they are passionate about. So Shazana came up with the idea of having an art exhibition, and art is something she's passionate about. So we found a few artists, and that's what we decided to do.
Aptly named Passion, this art exhibition, what are the objectives that you want to achieve from this? Obviously you are passionate about the cause, but then there must be something about the cause which you need to support. What do you want to do?
Well, we have 2 main objectives. One is to actually make sure that the young people in Sri Lanka actually know about these artists and maybe start going to art exhibitions, going to galleries, and starting an interest in these kind of things. And the other thing is to support artists, because all of these people are young people and they're just starting out, most of them.
Right.
So that's one of our main objectives.
Yeah, we'll come to it later on, why there's this need for support and what is the importance of art coming to the fore in Sri Lanka. Shazana, I'll come to you about the selection of these artists. Now I understand there's a variety of art on show at this exhibition. Can you explain to me how you came up with a variety? Is there such a thing as a variety of artists today, and how did you go about selecting artists for this exhibition?
Actually, that's very interesting. We didn't realize that all of them use different mediums actually until we started documenting everything, and then we realized, oh my goodness, there's so much more they can, there's so much, giving so much more to people than we actually ran our objective. We realized that actually initially it's just 3 of them that were featured on our newsletter, and then it was Umanga and I, we just came across the fact that she was a digital artist and she had her own concept doodle, and she had used ink on one of her works. And
you have 3 other artists than the artists here today, if you mention them?
Yes, we do actually. We have Chatrika Jaini. She's a graduate of the Fine Arts University. She works on wood and acrylics. And we also have Indika, who's never exhibited before, and his love for people's faces is just amazing. He's extremely accurate into detail. So this would be his first exhibition.
Right.
We didn't feel that the exhibition would be perfect without an established Sri Lankan artist, so we got in touch with Deb Tushara, who said he loved the cause and he'll do anything. So
right.
Okay.
So going on to the artists, Shamanti, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about how you became an artist. The story. As a kid, I think you were drawing when you were 3 years old, and now here you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been drawing. It's something I've always done. and I did art at school till about grade 6, but I started going for art classes at Cora Abraham art classes when I was about 8. And I preferred the way they did things there. It was much more about your own expression and being free with how you did stuff. So I never actually studied art at school after grade 6, because everything was done at the art class I went to. Went there till I was about 20.
And what is it that you bring to the exhibition? What is your form of art?
My form of... I guess my style is more along the lines of surrealism. I used to draw things far more realistically when I was younger, but now I'm going into a more stylized sort of way of doing it. And it's the kind of style I'm really into.
Right. So Hiroshi, coming to you, I understand that you have a unique form of art called doodling. It's something that we used to do in your school, when we were bored. You call it doodling as well. What is art and doodling? Can you tell us a little bit about your style of work?
Well, I guess it all started with my school notes and then my uni notes. I used to always just draw maybe my lecturers or friends in class, and then it sort of like turned into a phase where people actually wanted themselves drawn, and they actually like started ordering. So I had to, make a Facebook page to actually start promoting it, kind of. So now it's sort of like official Eros the Doodles. So
it was something that you never thought that you'll become an artist who doodles?
Yeah, definitely. It was just scribbling, right? So now I've actually added some color. I use watercolor as well. And I'm sort of looking at a form of illustration. So using doodles for illustrations.
Right. And Isuri, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you do a lot of digital work as well, but as yourself as an artist, tell us a little bit.
I actually didn't do a lot of art when I was in school, maybe a bit when I was in grade 7, 8, I think, and then it was after A-levels that I got into drawing, and then I decided this is kind of what I want to do with as a career. And then I actually I went to the States and I got my degree in illustration, and then I've been back here for a few months, and then I'm just freelancing and stuff. Yeah.
Something I understand now, I think Isuri, you said you have your degree in certain illustration.
Yeah.
Now that's something that you too don't necessarily have. So it brings me to the question, Shamanti, do you need to be qualified or academically qualified to be an artist? No, it's not necessary, is it?
Not necessarily, but I think there's a lot you can learn in the classroom, but there's also a lot you can pick up by yourself, and there's a lot you can learn off the internet. I've picked up a few techniques from videos of YouTube and things like that. You can make your own way, or you can do it through an official academic institution.
Right. Now, Hiroshi, I mean, we know there are now in this exhibition itself there are several new types of art: digital art, doodling, mixed media, etc. Now, if I say what would be the classic form of art that people know, it would be just the canvas and the brush. Now, do you think that art is that classically, or is it today a much wider concept generally? If I start with Hiroshi, what do you think?
Well, definitely, right? I mean, you get exhibitions with, just a rock or something, and people consider that art. So I don't think there's a limit anymore. It's sort of like anything can be considered art. It depends on the viewer. So I would like if people consider what I draw art.
Right. Now, same with you, Isuri. You bring digital art to the fray as well.
Yeah.
Digital art, some might say it's just a computer generated matter. Is it that, or is it actually art?
It's art. Digital actually is just a medium that I choose to do my art in. I love sketching, I love drawing, that's how I start off. And sometimes I use traditional techniques as well, like painting, and then I incorporate it to my illustrations.
With that, we need to go into a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with this wonderful artist on Good Morning Sri Lanka.